We start with Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 17 Best Buy Ford. Currently third in points, one win so far this season. Matt, talk a little bit about being here at Richmond this weekend and how important this race is tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's always been one of my favorite tracks. We've really struggled a lot here since really since the COT car came along. So I think it's an important race for us. We definitely want to get a good finish, have some momentum going into Chicago, and you know, maybe you can learn some things, maybe use at, you know, New Hampshire, that type of thing.
All right, we'll open up for questions for Matt. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. As always, please state your name and affiliation. We'll start right here with Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Matt, now that you've announced that next year you're going to be driving a Toyota, how much effect do you think that will have on your championship hopes for this year? Because in the past, someone changing manufacturers would pretty much watch the rest of the year go downhill.
I don't think it's going to make any difference at all to what we're trying to do this year. I really don't. I don't know why it would. I mean, you know, my team is known it for, you know, known I was going somewhere else for a few months. So I mean, I don't think that's going to change it. I mean, what's you know, all your incentives are to try to do good, no matter what your plans are for the following year. I mean, all our incentives are to try to win races and win a championship.
And if I can, Carl Edwards said yesterday that if he doesn't make this chase, one of the most important things he wants to do is help you win this championship, you or one of your other teammates. How important do you think he's going to be the remaining 10 races?
You know, I think the importance is the same all year long. I mean, I think that we always try to work as hard as we can, you know, on our cars, sharing information, trying to make our cars go faster. And, you know, when, you know, your teammates run good or they learn something, it helps you, and vice versa. So, I mean, I think we always work as hard as we can to try to help each other and help the company run as good as we can.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Jenna.
Jenna Fryer, AP. What's been the reaction or feedback you've received from fans to you leaving Ford and moving to Toyota?
You know, the most of the feedback I've got, probably 95% or more, has been really positive. So, I mean, it's you know how passionate race fans are. There's fans that are super passionate over manufacturers, over teams, over numbers. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So I think almost all of it's been really positive.
Will that be weird to you?
What'll be weird? Well, I mean, the whole thing will be different. You know, even just going over there the other day is a lot different. You know, I've walked into the same building at Roush, you know, the same series of buildings basically for, you know, almost 15 years. So it'll be different to do something different, and all of it's different. I mean, not just the manufacturer. I mean, everything's different, from, you know, all the personnel to the cars, the manufacturer, sponsors, all this stuff.
Okay, we'll take our next question here up front, then go to Holly in the middle.
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Hey, Matt, what do you think it's possible for someone to do what Tony Stewart did in the chase last year, or do you think that the chase will be more like other years where it's one or two wins and you try to finish as high as you can to win?
Well, I think anything is possible. I mean, when the chase format first came out, they said it was going to be impossible to win it without winning. And Tony won the championship without winning a race the first time he won in the chase, and this time he won 5 races and won it. So, I mean, I think anything's possible. You know, all it takes is more points than the other 11 guys, so it's pretty much dependent on what happens with the other 11 guys for how many points you need. But, I mean, I think anything's possible. I mean, that was amazing what Tony did last year to put together, you know, all those wins in 10 races, especially. I don't think he won in the regular season, and to be able to win 5, you know, half the races was pretty amazing.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Holly.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Matt, what is the biggest surprise to you among the guys that are fighting to get in? Is it Carl? Is it Jeff Gordon? Is it Kyle? There's a lot of really good guys that potentially are not going to make the chase. Which is the biggest surprise to you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, today that's a hard question to answer because we've been racing for 25 weeks. So, I mean, you can see all the different things that have happened, from, you know, broken engines to flat tires to just things that have been dumb luck that got a lot of them guys behind. So I don't know. That's hard to say. I mean, Jeff's performance wasn't great in the beginning of the year, but definitely the last few months has been really good, and he's had a lot of misfortune. Same with Kyle. He's been running good and has had a lot of weird things happen, between parts breaking or flat tires or, getting punted the last lap leading. I mean, all kinds of different things. So I don't know. That's a tough question to answer. I mean, obviously all three of them guys are really good, and you kind of count on them being in a chase, but anything can happen. It's pretty competitive.
Okay, we'll take our next question over to the right from Jeff.
Matt, do you think you guys in all of Roush, I mean, your performance on 1.5-mile tracks, how big of an advantage is that in the chase? And specifically going to Homestead, if you're still in contention, you guys are really good there. That would seem like an advantage as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody likes to group the mile and a halves together, but they're really not that similar. So, I mean, if you look at what we did last weekend, you'd say not very good. I mean, none of us ran really very good at all. We finished, ninth, but kind of got, fortunate, had great pit stops, and a lot of other things happened to keep us on the lead lap. And Carl was probably just a little better than we were. So I don't know. I think you got to approach every track the same, do the best you can every week, and try to get the finishes every week. I don't feel like we can really right now pick out a few tracks, except for if nothing changes, maybe Talladega, where we seem to have an advantage and feel like you're gonna, have your best chance at gaining points or not losing as many, or however you want to look at it. So I really don't think I could circle maybe more than one or two tracks in a chase where I feel, real good about, like better than everybody else.
Additional questions for Matt? Okay, we'll take one over to the right with Mike.
Mike Muller, MikeMuller.net. How many races do you think the champion's going to have to win in the chase? I mean, how many races do you think he's going to have to win, and how many guys can win more than one race in the chase?
Man, I don't know. There's no way I can predict that. I mean, that's just throwing a dart at the board. I mean, I don't have any idea. Like we just got done talking about. I mean, Tony didn't win any all year last year and won 5 in the chase. Who would ever thought he would have done that? And he also won his first championship in the chase without winning a race. So, I mean, like I was just saying, I mean, it depends on what the other 11 cars do. I don't think you have to win any races in the chase, depending on what everybody else does. I mean, Carl didn't win any and tied for the points to lead with a guy who won 5. So, it's hard to predict.
Okay, we'll come back to the middle with David, here in the middle.
Matt, David Newton, ESPN.com. You guys that are already locked in going to be aware of some of the desperation the guys, they're fighting to get in the chase are in? Because yesterday they were talking about who would knock who out of the way to get a win at the end and that type of thing.
Well, yes and no. I mean, you always try to be, if there's a championship battle or a points battle or something that you're not involved in, you always try to be aware of that. And, maybe not give them people extra room, but certainly try not to make a mistake that ruins their chances. But on the other hand, these races are really hard to win. And if you got a chance to win a race, you're going to do whatever you can to win a race, no matter where you are in the points. I mean, all these races are big, points or no points, and you want to win all of them and not give up any. So, I mean, if you got a chance to win a race, no matter where you are in points, you're going to do everything in your power to win.
Any final questions for Matt? Okay, we'll take one up here from Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. A couple for you, actually. The rule change that apparently NASCAR is making on the size of the bushings. Do you have any thoughts on that, on how that might affect or impact the chase since it starts next week at Chicagoland?
Not really. I don't know the details except for that little bit I read. It can only move a quarter inch or something. Probably would have been easier just to say you have to run mono balls every week. Probably would have been easier, but I don't know. It probably won't change a lot. Everybody was kind of on what they were doing anyway. I mean, for me, it might make it better because it didn't seem like we had it quite nailed down, maybe like the other guys did.
And then after you made the announcement this week, and the team, your team, got to see you in another team's colors, did you sense the need to have you talked to them about that? Is there any sense, I guess, now that you've got that out of the way, now you can kind of, like you said, refocus on the goal at hand? And do you have any meeting at Roush Fenway where you sort of organize everybody and say, hey, I'm still here, I'm still 100% committed, even despite the Tuesday news?
No, we did that you know, probably when Roush first announced that I was leaving, went and told the team and talked to them guys. I mean, that's been a couple months, so I really think most of that is all past. The only thing they told me is they didn't like my horizontal stripes on Tuesday. Other than that, they didn't really say much about it. Went over there and hung out with them for a while the other day. I mean, they're fine. They understand. They you know, I think they've been over that for a while, and we're all focused on the task at hand. Never know.
Final questions for Matt. Okay, we got one up front right here with Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Did anything, like, after the announcement, when looking back at it, did anything, like, surprise you or really intrigue you, either from being back at Gibbs for what you said was just the second time, or any type of reaction that people had to it?
Not really, I guess, from anybody else. I mean, you know, I think most of the fan feedback and some of my peers and stuff like that has been almost 100% positive, which makes me feel good. But I guess the biggest thing, just going back there and hanging out a little bit and walking through there and finally making an announcement. I was surprised when I got home, sat there that night and the next night and everything. I was kind of surprised how excited I am, honestly, and how excited I am about that opportunity to be able to go do that next year. I mean, I'm excited about this year, and that's not saying anything negative about Roush Fenway. I've been there for a long time and feel really good about it. Been able to do a lot of great things over there. But I am really excited about starting another chapter in my career and a chance to go to another winning team that you know, wins races and wins championships, and go see how I can do over there. What's that?
We'll
I didn't hear that. I am very excited. I mean, it's hard because you know, I'm really excited about that, but I don't want to slight the team I'm at either. I mean, I'm still working over there until the end of the season, and I'm 100% committed and focused on Roush Fenway Racing and trying to win over there and everything. So it was nice to kind of finally do the announcement where, you know, you didn't have to say, well, I can't talk about it yet for every single week, and you could finally talk about it and get it all out there. And I just spent a little time, I guess, thinking about it because it seemed more real after we were there and kind of did the announcement and got all that done, and it just gave me a day or two to kind of think about how fortunate I've been through my whole career, and then still get another chance to go try something, you know, different with a top-notch team. So that's you know, in a way it's kind of scary, in another way it's really exciting. So you know, I'm excited about both.
Okay, we'll take a final follow-up from Stan.
Stan Creekmore again with RPMtonight.com. At what point in the past did I can't even say it now. Did the deal come to you from Joe Gibbs Racing, and how much conversation had to occur before you said, yeah, this is what I'm going to do?
What was the first part question? When did you say?
Yeah, at what point in time?
It was right around the 600 at Charlotte was the first time that they contacted me, and we got together a couple times and talked, and you know, it all happened pretty quickly, really. It all happened within a month, probably, something like that.
Okay. All right. Matt, thank you very much for your time today, and good luck this weekend.